It's crazy to me that 29 whole years after its release, Super Mario 64 can still impress me with just how perfectly made it is. Every corner of the overworld and levels are filled to the brim with things to do and secrets to find. The gameplay's tight and rewards skill, the worlds are all varied and unique, and the soundtrack is still iconic to today. But most importantly, the game's actually fun and enjoyable at every point whenever you're playing. There's no filler content, random collectibles on the minimap, or massive and empty open worlds. Super Mario 64 is a testament to Nintendo's skill and ability to make games that are timeless and fun. It established a solid foundation for the 3D platformer genre that Nintendo still knocks out of the park with every new iteration to this day. When I first played Mario 64, it was at a mate's place on his hacked original Xbox of all things, and for some reason any game played in the emulator had this weird green tinge around the borders of the screen, as if it was going to burst at the seams with all this extra power under the hood of the Xbox.
That is impressive.
It was only a short experience, but I got to explore some of Peach's castle and run around Bob-omb Battlefield. It felt like the world was endless. There felt like there was so much I could explore, and it blew my tiny mind away, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. When I realised it was actually for the N64 and my mum had a copy, I went looking for it, only to realise she'd sold her N64, SNES, and all the games that went along with it. That N64 was where I played my first ever games: Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and Wave Race 64. A couple years down the line, I received my very own DS Lite. I had some absolute classics on this thing: New Super Mario Bros, Lego Indiana Jones, Scribblenauts, Drawn to Life, and of course, Super Mario 64 DS. This was where I finally got to actually experience the game in its entirety. The Nintendo DS version came with a couple of differences. For one, no thumbstick, only a D-pad. This game also had 4 characters instead of just Mario. The game starts you out as Yoshi, and you have to save Mario, Luigi, and Wario, who've been captured and put into paintings. These characters also have unique power-ups, with Yoshi being able to breathe fire to melt ice, and Mario having his original wing cap, but also a new floating ability. Luigi borrows Mario's invisibility cap from the original game, and Wario takes Mario's metal ability. There's also a local multiplayer mode you could play with up to 3 other people to compete and see who have the most stars in a set amount of time. The game also has more stars, new paintings, and a rec room which gives you access to a crazy amount of mini-games based on each of the different characters, with different themes like platforming, puzzles, and of course, gambling. The mini-games are unlocked by finding and catching rabbits running around the overworld, with different rabbits appearing depending on the character that you played as. Some of my favourites were Wanted, Sword or Splode, and Mushroom Roulette. These minigames are also included in New Super Mario Bros. I actually remember using websites like Cheat Code Central and GameFAQs to see if there are any rabbits that I might have missed, and also how to find Luigi's painting, which took me a lot longer to find than I'd like to admit. Once Super Mario 64 was released for the Nintendo Switch as part of the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, I finally got the chance to sit down and play through the original for myself for the first time, without all that extra gamer fuel from the Xbox. It was a surreal experience, stepping back into this game with all this experience, but having it twisted because it wasn't actually this game, it was a completely different version. Exploring Peach's castle again, from courtyards to the infinite staircase, had some things shifted and changed. Getting to replay through these carefully crafted levels again, with some of the standouts being Whomp's Fortress, Tiny Huge Island, and Tick Tock Clock. I'm sure there's some debate online as to what version of the game's better and the definitive one to play, but I like them both, and don't really have an opinion to which one I prefer, and I think no matter what version you play, you'll still enjoy yourself. If you've never played Super Mario 64, or only ever played the newer Mario platformers, I can't recommend this game enough, just to experience how far ahead Nintendo was all the way back in 1996. Super Mario 64 isn't just a classic, it's a reminder that great game design never gets old.